What is up everyone, I hope you're all having a good day. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can create your own animal enemies. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this, so let's jump straight into it. First things first, you will need an animal skeleton, with some attack animations and some movement animations. The more animations the better, but let's go through just the essential ones. You will need one attack animation, one hit react animation, one idle and one moving forward animation. Ideally, for more exciting combat, you also have a moving backwards animation and strafing animations, but idle and forwards will do for now. So the first thing we're going to do is turn our attack and hit react animation into a montage. So let's right click, create montages. Then let's jump into our attack animation, and now we need to create some notifies to trigger our attack. So right click in the notify panel and create notify. Call this hit ready, and move it to where you want your animal to be able to deal damage. Then create another notify called hit not ready, and put this at where you want the attack to stop. Then create another notify called attack sequence next, and put this at where you want your animal to send its next attack. Then let's add another notify row and bring in the AN input buffer notify. For the player, this buffer lets you load your next attack mid-animation. For the AI, it basically stops them from spamming their abilities. Put the start near the start, and the end just before the attack sequence next. Now you will need to do this for each attack animation. When that's done, let's jump into our hit montage and add the input buffer in, putting the end where we want the AI to start attacking again. Great, that's the montages setup. Now let's hop into our data tables, animations folder, and into the attack animations data table. Create a new row and call it your animal name, then fill in your attack montages. When that's done, close and jump into general animations. Start putting in your hit animations in, and even if you don't have multiple hit animations, put the ones you do have in each hit slot. Sweet, that is our attacks all set up, now time for movement. So let's find our animal skeleton, right click and create Blendspace. Open this up. For the horizontal axis, type direction and set minimal to -180 and max to 180 with 4 grid divisions. Then for vertical axis, type speed and set it from 0 to 500 or however fast you want your animal to go, with 6 grid divisions. Then we're going to start pulling in our animations. You can hold shift to lock an animation to a grid point. I'm going to put all the animations on screen now, but again, don't worry if you don't have all of them, but you should at least have the idle and jog forwards. Next up, let's create our animation blueprint. So let's navigate to our animal skeleton, right click and create animation blueprint. Call it ABP, your animal name, and open it up when you're ready. Click class settings at the top, and under interfaces we're going to add the AI ABP, and we're going to add the ABP revive. When that's done, go back into your content folder and navigate to our spider ABP under animation, spider, and open it up. When it's open, copy all the nodes, jump back into our bear ABP and paste them in. Go around right clicking all the variables and create variables off them until they're all in the blueprint. When that's done, delete the spider notifies and bring in the ones we created for our new animal. When you're ready, jump back into the spider, into the Anim graph, and copy the nodes. Then let's go back into our bear ABP, into the Anim graph, and paste them in. Connect them up when they're in there. Then let's jump into the state and replace our animations. I'm not going to bother with the jump or revive states right now, so I'm going to delete them, but do fill these in if you have the animations. So I'm going to jump into the idle movement state and bring in our blend space we created, and I'm going to connect it in. Feel free to rename all the state names over to your new animal, but I'm going to leave mine for now. Okay, great, that is the movement setup. The next thing we need to do is set up a place the animal should attack from. So let's navigate to its skeleton and open it up when you found it. Now you can pick a different bone if your animal specifically attacks from one area, but pick a bone which is usually always going to be close to where the damage is caused. I'm using a bear which attacks from its mouth and claws, so I'm going to pick the head bone, and I'm going to add a socket and place this socket in front of the animal. Click on the socket and press F2 to rename. Now you need to make sure you call the socket Animal Attack Attachment with the exact spelling. Okay, great. The AI is now ready to go. All that's left is to set up the AI data to use all the things we've just made. So let's go to DataTables, AI, and hop into Animals. Then create a new row and call it your animal name. Now put in your animal name, put in the mesh, and if you want to use a specific material other than the default material, you can put this in here. For passive ABP, put in the ABP we made. This is for when the AI isn't active, we run a cheaper ABP, but the animal ABP is already so cheap it doesn't matter. Then for combat data, enable combat ability, set animal combat as the behavior tree, set the combat ABP as the ABP we made. Then if your animal is an elemental, change its damage type and set how much damage you want the elemental effect to deal in the special damage info. I'll make a frost bear, so I'll set this to frost, and I'm happy with the default frost slow. Next, under weapon setup, we're going to select animal, and it's very important you set this for your animals as this will spawn our damage blueprint. Then for attack animations, I'm going to set the attack row we made, and for general animations, I'm going to do the same. As for stats, I'm happy with the default stats in the AI parent. However, if you want your AI to deal custom damage or have custom defense, add a stat to the array. Then for damage, select the animal/fist damage and put in the amount you want your animal to deal per hit. Then we have enemy, tracking and friendly data such as companion functionality. However, these will be covered in another video. It's pretty self-explanatory and I have examples of my other AI using these, so feel free to fill these in yourself if you want. Great, our AI is now all set up. Let's jump into a level and throw them in. So under blueprints, AI, AI types, I'm going to bring in the animal BP. These blueprints are all the same, however they are set to use different databases to make things simpler. Also, the animal blueprint has a tag which causes the player to crouch during dialogue. Then I'm going to change the faction to an enemy faction and set the bear as the AI type. If your material is incorrect, type material into the details, then click the reset arrow to reset it. And those are the steps to add animals into the system. Very last thing, if you don't have any strafe animations, your animal is still currently set up to strafe. In the guidelines document, I will go over the steps to remove this. So I hope this helped you out. A big thank you again for supporting me and the system. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.